I'm finally losing weight and I want to talk about that. And I want to show you the data to back up what I'm thinking. So this was May. And you can see I was weighing in pretty frequently, like multiple times per day, just because I was kind of curious as to what my weight was actually doing. And you can see there was, multiple weigh-ins per day here, and much less weigh-ins here. Now, part of that obviously was because I wasn't losing any weight, which wasn't my goal. Kind of averaging, somewhere between 280 and 285. Maybe a little higher there. But yeah, around this time I was trying to be careful about what I ate. I was really thinking it through, and I was trying to get in a little more exercise. But as you can see, like if you were to draw two lines on the top and the bottom, I didn't lose any weight in May. And despite becoming, sort of hyper obsessed about it, I just didn't lose any weight. And it just goes to show that, you can think about something a lot, but that doesn't mean that you're going to, succeed at it. And if I go back, you can see this kind of the month before, this is where I started giving a crap, because around this time, I'm like the heaviest I've ever been. I used to be around 250 pounds, and now I'm like 285, which is awful. And it's weird being up at this weight. You would think it would be because of the pandemic. But, during the pandemic, I was still 250. But Michelle and I figured out that at some point we stopped walking places and we started just driving to McDonald's and getting a Diet Coke, which, there's no calories in Diet Coke. However, just that act of changing our walking to driving, I think it got rid of more than just walking to get a drink. It also, sort of habitually got rid of other things. And so here's May. Let's go forward into June. In June, I kind of lost my steam, right? I weighed in every now and then, but if you compare May and then you compare June, they're basically the same thing, except the weigh-in, the points in which I'm weighing in are more sporadic, but it's basically just May repeated. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to put much thought into something. It's frustrating to put so much thought into something and not succeed. And so July last month, pretty much around the same thing. Like this gray line here is 286.6, still right around there. And you can see why people get so fed up of weight loss. And anyway, one night Michelle and I are talking and she's like, I'm going to try to fast. Just going to fast. And I was thinking about it and, I'm just like, that's a pretty good idea because that sounds really simple, And so I ended up initially trying to fast for a whole day, right? But then I changed it. I decided that, I'd go to bed around midnight, give or take 2 hours. And then I was going to fast until 4 p.m., which means I get through work. And then after 4 o'clock, kind of 4 o'clock to midnight, I just eat whatever I want to eat. Like I'm not going to have any restrictions. And the kind of thought there is that you don't eat anything until 4 o'clock. You don't have to think about it. It's just, I'm not eating anything strictly. And then after that, I can eat whatever I want. I don't have to think about it because I'm so sick of thinking. So sick of thinking. And so now we go into August. And that strategy, I would say I started right here because, well, you can tell I started weighing in again. And if you look like at the first, like here's August 8th, August 13th, 14th, 15th, like you take the first week, it's kind of hard to tell that it's working. But if you were to draw a line through the bottom, you would see that it, you could already predict from the first 7 days that it was working. And, this, sometimes charts don't, quite show the significance of something. But I was on, I was pretty much always hitting 285, and now I'm hitting 275. That's 10 pounds less. And a pound is 3,500 calories, which means over this period of time, which is basically about 20 some days, that is a 35,000 calorie deficit. which is insane. But you know, it makes sense though, because I'm not eating breakfast, which might be like a sausage McMuffin from McDonald's, and I'm not eating lunch, which on the best of days might be like a chicken bake from Costco. So on the very best of days, the minimum calories I would have been eating in the morning slash afternoon would have been about 1,200 calories. But that could have been 1,200 to 2,000, depending on just how I felt that day. And so cutting everything out up until 4 o'clock is it's like the simplest thing ever. I mean, it does suck. Like, don't get me wrong, it sucks because there are times when I'm like, you know, the kitchen is like I'm here and the kitchen's just over there, and I like the fridge is always in my eyesight. I can always see the fridge. I should probably move it. Anyway, you know, there's like this time when I'm thinking like I really want to eat, and it's like this, you know, it's like the desire to eat is going up and up and up and up and up, and it's like reaching this peak, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to eat right now. But then if I can hold out for like just a couple of minutes, like I get past the peak of the mountain, and like that desire goes away, and I can like get through. And by the time we're in the afternoon, like, you know, past 12, you know, if I want to eat, I'm thinking to myself like I can eat at 4 o'clock anyway. And the difference here, of course, is that because I can see the progress, because I know that I'm making progress, because I know it's working, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Now, I will add to this, since Michelle and I realized that we hadn't been walking anymore, we stopped driving to McDonald's all the time, and we decided that we would walk to the gas station. Part of this was actually because McDonald's put their prices up, but that led to us like realizing that this was the case. And so we do get a little bit more walking in. However, we started getting the walking in before the fasting, and you know, the walking by itself was not doing anything, but the fasting clearly is. And so yeah, I thought it was an interesting result. I've been trying so hard to lose weight, and now I feel like I'm not really trying, but it's working. And so I don't know like where the equilibrium is. I don't know where I'm going to end up. I would be so happy to be below 250 again. But I don't know. I feel like it's probably going to go below 250, but I've got the data. I weigh in every morning. Sometimes I weigh in multiple times per day just because I like to kind of see. You know, I'm just a data hog, I guess. But yeah, stay tuned, and I will review this again at the end of next month, and we'll see what kind of progress I made. But yeah, that's all I had. So I'll see you in the next one. No promises when the heck that'll be. All right, see you guys.